And welcome to another episode of the I Have a Problem podcast. It's your boy Mike Sykes at Mike D Sykes on Twitter. Didn't screw up my last name that time. I'm still not 100% sure how I do that, seeing as I've carried this name my entire life. But welcome back. Thank you guys for coming back, checking out the this episode and the episodes before. You guys have really shown me a lot of love throughout these last couple weeks with these sneaker episode. So I really appreciate that because this is definitely an acquired taste, and I wouldn't be able to do it if you guys weren't into it. So I really appreciate all the support and the feedback that you guys have given me. If you haven't subscribed to the Problem Podcast newsletter, please do so now. I have been tweeting the link out. I'm not sure why you haven't subscribed to it yet. It's actually a great newsletter, and you should definitely open it anytime you see it in your inbox. Don't take it from me. Take it from the people who you talk to who have also subscribed to the newsletter and also think that it's a great newsletter. I'm not sure if you talk to any people who subscribe to the newsletter, but just go ahead and do it. Anyway, I'm here with my man, my guy, Jake Whitaker, the editor at Bullets Forever, SB Nation's Washington Wizards blog. How are you doing today, Jake?
I'm good, and thank you for having me on, even after you realized that I wasn't actually Nick DePaula. It was just one of my burner accounts that I used to set this up. But thank you.
Yeah, you bagged me with that. Like you had me. You had me. It's fine though. It's fine. You're good enough.
Yeah.
You're more than good enough. So
we'll see about that.
So what we're here to do today, I guess, is to help Jake find a shoe.
Yes.
Right. Like Jake has been over the last few months, right? And feel free to stop me if I am incorrect at any point here, Jake. But over the last few months, it seems that you have had struggles finding a shoe that fits you properly, but also is kind of cool looking, right? Like, is that would you say that's accurate?
Yes, I'm turning like 30 in a year, and so I'm kind of like trying to figure out like how to look respectable but not look like I'm trying too hard as I get older and uglier. So like just finding the right shoe for that, like.
So that's what we're here to do. Can you kind of walk us through the choices that you've been through already? Like, I know we've gone through the Roche, right?
And yeah, that was a mistake.
So what went wrong there? Like what happened? Like,
okay, so I guess the biggest issue is for people that don't know, I'm from Winchester, Virginia, which is, not the mecca of sneaker culture.
Are you
sure?
So
it took me like a long time to kind of like figure out that I needed decent shoes, and like I would just like wear trash basically on my feet. And so like over the last couple of years, like I realized that like, oh, my back's messing up because I'm wearing these trash shoes. And so I've kind of had to like kind of slowly develop a rotation, do it in a respectful way because I have, a wife and kids. And so I can't just like drop money on shoes all the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a slow build. So it's like I'm spending like gobs of time just scouting shoes, but then never buying them because of like just. But like I think I've like I went through a progression in the summer where I was like, at first I was going to get those Converse fast breaks that came out because they're kind of old and simple, which is my aesthetic. But why settle there when I could just go Air Force One when it's more timeless, more versatile, and you can just go so many ways off that.
Sure. Yeah. And I think, I think you're definitely, in my opinion, you're definitely in the right direction, right? Because like sneakers, a lot of older sneakers, they kind of like they have that retro quality to them that makes them like kind of cool and kind of hip. But at the same time, like the shoe was like it doesn't have all this extra performance technology in it. Like they don't have the zoom bags, for instance, in the Air Force One, which kind of makes like it makes the grip on your foot kind of tight, right? Like if you were to get like a brand shoe, like that wouldn't be a good look, because like, I mean, for me personally, like I have a flat foot, so like there's like this really really dense art in the shoe that just like is terrible, but it's because of the zoom bag being there, and so like a shoe like that wouldn't exactly work out for you, even though like for some basketball players, like it's super comfortable to run and jump around in. But that's not like what you're trying to do here. Like you're just trying to get a shoe that you can casually wear.
Exactly. Like I just need something I can stand in and not not die. So it's like, and it's just like, you know, as nice as like, you know, basketball shoes are, it's like tricky sometimes to like, you know, find that balance, especially, you know, where I work now, it's very like it's so laid back that wearing something nice almost looks like you're trying too hard. So you got to like find that right balance.
You gotta fit right in.
Yeah.
So I mean, did you have a pair of Air Forces now?
Yet, like I've decided on that's gonna be the shoe. I just gotta find like the right color and like, you know, how can I make it look decent but not so bland that I just like fade into every situation ever.
Right, sure. Okay. My opinion, you can never go wrong with all white in an Air Force. Like that's a shoe that's a classic silhouette, right? Like you see it all the time from like normal dudes wearing it at a grocery store, grocery shopping or whatever. I mean, even dudes that are like at work, like stocking shelves or something like that. Like they'll wear that shoe because it's like super comfortable, super roomy, really casual, all white. Like you can't really go wrong with it. And then like at the same time, you'll see like rappers and like superstars wearing it like just casually. So like I feel like that's a colorway that's like it goes across all spectrums. I think like I just don't think you can go wrong with it.
Right, and what's great with the all whites is that you can literally put whatever you want on it, and then you can, you know, try to convince, you know, someone that's not in the news that they're off whites, and you could flip it for a good profit.
Yeah, you know what? You get the orange tag on there.
Yeah.
Maybe get a marker, right? And they'll write the air on the side.
Well, that's the thing. You could just put a new message on there and just be like, "Yeah, that's the new one." You didn't know? Yeah, that's the new one.
He actually just made this one yesterday, and I went personally and got it from Nike's New York headquarters. Shout out to the Off-White collection, man. Like, oh my God. Like, okay, so do you know how much those are running for right now?
That's just something if I looked, it would make me cry. So I try not to.
So so I checked. I don't know why I do these things. I punish myself. I never be able to buy one of these shoes in my life, but I still love them enough to look at them and check the price every day just to see if it's close enough that I can somehow swallow my pride and throw away my guilt and buy these, waste my life savings on these shoes. So the Air Force One right now on StockX is $800. The the lowest bid on it is $869 right now. And that's probably going to change tomorrow. Right? Like it might go down, it might go up. But
it'll go up. It never goes down.
I mean, it's so bad. Like I don't know. And like don't get me wrong, the collection is great. Like it's it's really cool. It's really creative, but the shoes also look like a sample. Not really sure why um, people are like super into these to the point where like, well, I know why, but like I just wish it wasn't that way.
Right.
Like it's just crazy. I don't know, man. I really wanted to get some, but it doesn't look like that's going to ever happen.
No. But there will be like the thing with all these collaborations is that they start out with like the ridiculous ones, and then they will come out like 2 years later with the like normalized version for the people that were like, oh, I could never do that, but that's somewhat decent.
Yeah,
My categories, I don't know if
you have a cat. I didn't know you had a cat.
yeah,
Shout out to your cat.
Yeah, it wasn't my choice, but yeah.
Yo, so I mean, I don't know if Nike would do that with these specifically because they're an Off-White collaboration, which is like, I mean, that's supposed to be super exclusive, right? Like, you're not supposed to be able to get your hands on something like this, which is like, it's like their version of a Yeezy, I guess. So maybe like they'll do another Off-White collaboration or something, I guess. I don't know.
Right, like it would be like almost like a Nike sanctioned knockoff of itself.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it wouldn't like it wouldn't have like the ties, and it wouldn't like have the exact same like text on the side. But like they even already kind of have something like that with the there's like this like white olive.
Yeah,
colorway.
What is it called? The Mars Stone Air Force One.
Yeah.
Like I get what you're saying. I actually like that shoe. And it's probably because of the Off-White thing, honestly. Because like like a month ago I probably would have hated it, but you know, it is what it is. I feel like Adidas has kind of done the same thing with Yeezys, right?
Yeah.
Where like they'll make similar looking shoes, so people will be like, "Oh, this shoe is really dope." Like, so maybe
Right.
I should buy it because it looks like this other one. But
right.
That's
and you don't feel the guilt of like just going on like eBay and seeing what you can find on that market.
Is the best part. The guilt is the best part, honestly. Like I so it's the story in guilt, in shoe purchasing guilt.
Yeah.
So a couple Christmases ago, I got I bought myself the Jordan, my favorite shoe of all time, the Air Jordan Aqua 8. It just come out.
Okay.
Around that time, right? And so like,
yeah,
I bought it and I had actually asked for it for Christmas. So come to find out, actually bought me the shoe also. And I had kind of known that she had bought it, but I just bought another pair on my own anyway. One, because they were like $10 cheaper and on Amazon,
right.
and two, I figured that I would be able to, resell the shoe and be able to make some type of a profit off it.
Right.
So 2015, as a lot of you either know or are coming to find out, that's when Jordan brand started to kind of fall off. Like at that point, they were making shoes that people really didn't have too much interest in buying. One, because like they had come out maybe 8 years before, and two, a lot of younger kids like to buy shoes, and a lot of younger kids don't really care about Jordan anymore. So like the shoes were kind of still sitting on shelves. So I just wasted $200 on a pair of shoes that I had just ended up getting for Christmas anyway. So I felt terrible at that point, and literally just had to I had to return the shoe. Like, so that is a lesson that I'm throwing out there to say, one, you're not going to be able to resell Jordans anymore for the most part. And two, if you ask someone for a shoe, don't go out and buy it yourself. It's not a great thing.
So what you're saying is internet meme celebrities like crying Michael Jordan don't have a lot of economic value.
Exactly. God, that's so crazy. Like, there are kids who don't even know that Jordan was great at basketball.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
That's one of my favorite recurring bits at Bullets Forever. I'll just post a picture of him on the Wizards and just be like, did you know the crying meme guy used to play basketball for the Wizards?
Won't even know that he played for the Bulls. Like, don't even know that Jimmy Butler might as well be the best Bull ever.
Might as well. Yeah.
All right. So back to the Air Force, though. I sent you this link of the upcoming 35th anniversary preview from Nike. They're going to probably do this like they did the Air Max anniversary last year, where they just released a bunch of different colors and different models of the Air Force One. And one of the ones on this page is like an SF Air Force One with neon green and black strings, and it's like a boot.
Right.
We were talking before we started. You said that you wouldn't be able to pull that off. I was just wondering, but I don't think I would be able to pull it off either, honestly. But like, if you could pull this off, like how would you go about doing that? Like, what do you think? What do you think you would wear with this shoe?
I mean, I feel like you gotta go probably. You know what? I'm just gonna come out and say it. You gotta wear shorts with them. You just gotta
you gotta wear shorts.
You gotta ride or die. You just if you're gonna wear something like that, you don't want anything getting in the way or taking any attention from the fact that you're wearing them. I mean, shorts that don't get in the way, a very neutral shirt, and just nothing else. Just let them stand out. And if people hate them, they hate them. If they love them, they love them. But either way, you've planted your flag, and that's how it goes.
It's a really weird shoe, man. Like, I have no clue how.
It's like they took the one Durant shoe that like went up to the knee, tried to dial it back like 20% and seeing if that could work.
The what was that? The KD8 Elite shoe. Like, it came with like a whole sleeve to it. And that was just like weird. But like this one, like that one, I think Nike was like, they were trying to make a solid performance shoe that was comfortable and wouldn't like move around too much. Cause like with low tops, I guess, for some people, like there's extra room in them instead of like a high where it'll have a grip on your ankle. Like there's none of that with low tops. So I guess they were trying to do that with the red shoe. But like this is a fashion shoe. Like somebody's going to wear this and they're going to wear it well, I guess, but it definitely won't be me.
Right.
I just don't.
Well, I mean, like I feel like this is something where like Russell Westbrook will take this and then like just build it all the way up into like signature shoes that come with like pants attached. Like just do it all the way up. But that's about it.
Yeah, that would actually, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. But only Russ can pull that off, I think. Like Russ is he's a special guy. He can pull off most things, I feel like.
Exactly.
So I mean, have you seen any other Air Force One models that you like, or are there any colorways that are sticking out to you right now?
Okay, so there's one that I've seen that I like, and then there's one that I wish existed that I don't believe does. Okay, so the one that I've seen is like a Jones Beach colorway. Mm-hmm. Kind of got like this sandy top with like a ocean blue sole. And it just, I don't know, for some reason that always appeals to me, that like beach kind of look, even though I like have nothing about me that screams beach. It makes me feel good about myself. And then, like the Nike Vandal,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like the OG, like silver with the red swoosh and the blue outline.
Yeah.
Make an Air Force One like that. That would
Yeah.
be like very my thing. But I've never seen one.
So I think there is have you seen the Rasheed Wallace Air Force Ones that he wore during like in the actual game? Like it was like a high Air Force One, right? Like it's kind of close to the Vandal.
Yeah.
A little bit, but like it's not. It's the collar on it is kind of different though. Let me send you a link if I can find a good one. But like that's a shoe. I don't know if you'll be able to find that anywhere. But but it's pretty similar.
Yeah, like I tried messing around on like Nike ID once, seeing if I could kind of replicate. But like that silver they did back then, it's not the same as what you get now.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a great shoe. Like that's a classic shoe. I had a canvas pair that was like it was really good. Like it was actually had something that someone actually did artwork on. And like that's one of the things that I loved about the shoe. That like you can kind of do whatever with it. Like it wasn't because of the material that it was made of. Like you could wear it anywhere, it could get dirty and you could easily clean it. You could draw on it, you could play ball in it. Like it was a really good shoe. I honestly wish that they would do something special with that, because like it was a super popular shoe back in the day.
Right.
And by back in the day, I mean in like 2008 for me.
Yeah, right. Making me feel old again. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. All good. Yeah, no, I always thought like those Rasheeds were just kind of slept on too. Like he did so much with those. But that's just kind of, Rasheed just had his own. There's something about like I compare him with Markieff Morris a lot. And I don't know, there's just something about guys that come from Philly that like wearing those bulky shoes. She'd had the Air Force Ones, and now Markieff does the foams. So it's like,
and it's so incredible. Like,
yeah,
that's such an incredible thing. I shout out to Markieff Morris for that.
Yeah.
Like thank you so much for wearing the Foamposite while playing for the Washington Wizards in DC. Like that is so. I don't know if he's aware of how great that is. I have to ask him actually.
Yeah.
Has he talked about that?
I don't know. I mean that seems like something that like he probably should have talked about, but probably hasn't. So there's your
okay. I will. Yeah, I'm kind of upset because that's out there now that I'm going to do this. Yeah. So I hope
just edit this out. Edit this out.
But I'm gonna keep it. It will remain in the ether. But I am that's an incredible thing. Like Air Force Ones, New Balance, and Foamposites are like super DC, with like the Air Force Ones ranking kind of last there. But it's still like a super DC shoe. Like I don't have you worn a pair of Foamposites?
No.
So like
that's like my ultimate, like if I just had like money to blow, I would totally get one. But I couldn't look my family in the face and be like, this was a justifiable thing to do.
Yeah, I feel you. I can't even do that myself, and I don't have a family.
Right.
Like it's so expensive. Like the shoe gets to like $235 now. Like, but it's crazy because like in 2007, you could easily find a pair of foams for like maybe 125 somewhere, which is like not like the easiest thing to just drop, but like it's palatable.
Yeah.
So like,
and then it became just kind of like this like boutique upscale thing.
and like the origin of that is so crazy. Like the so the way and like you'll talk to different people in DC, and like everyone will have a different kind of opinion on it. But like people in DC have been wearing foam posits for like the last, I mean, really since they came out in the 90s. Like people have been kind of wearing them, and like people love Penny Hardaway here for whatever reason. Like I really don't know why. Maybe it was the shoes because he's had so many cool shoes, but like people love Penny Hardaway shoes here for a while. But like the foam really, just as a Nike shoe in general, like it really stuck out here. And like in 2007, I want to say, while they kind of like I forget which song it was, but like he had a rap about him. And ever since then, they blew up again in this area. And then from there, it kind of took off nationally. And like, if you go to like Philly or like some places in New York, like they'll be like, "Oh, we were wearing the foam way before like anybody in DC was thinking about it." But I'm here to let you know, all of you, like that's not true. It's not true at all. Just like the whole the Baltimore and New Balance thing. Like, have you seen that video, Jake, where the Baltimore guys like, "We've been wearing New Balance since 2006 or something like that."
Yeah. I saw of it. I didn't get a chance to watch the thing, but yeah, that sounds like it's weird to see Baltimore just have a weird chip on its shoulder for no reason and try to prove something that isn't there. But that's another story for another day.
That's just, yeah, I was going to say, that's just Baltimore. That's just what Baltimore does, honestly. And I love Baltimore. I have a love for Baltimore now, but like, y'all got to chill out over there. Like the guy was like, "Oh, I've been wearing we've been wearing New Balances since like 2006 or whatever." And I'm like, "Bro, I remember I was birthed in a pair of 992s, bro." Like,
right.
Like my first day of school ever was in a pair of New Balances, and like people are from DC have been wearing them since like the 80s. So like I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how DC has done these shoe trends with like really weird and obscure shoes, but that's just a DC fashion thing. It's really weird.
Yeah, Baltimore's like that SNL character Kristen Wiig did. That like anytime someone would say something nice about themselves, she'd jump in and be like, "Well, actually, I did it like 30 seconds before, and it was twice as good, and I'm the president."
Right, so. Exactly. That's Baltimore's existence.
Yeah,
that's Baltimore's entire existence. Fine. Which, I was gonna say, which is fine because like that's an endearing quality, I guess, at times.
Exactly.
Where, like, you don't want everyone to get the upper hand on you or whatever, but like at the same time, like Baltimore, you gotta know your boundaries, right? Like,
right.
I don't know. It's crazy. Shout out to Baltimore though. Like I still have love for you guys.
Yeah, same here.
So I was looking at these Air Force Ones that were they're black with a yellow check, a yellow Nike check. It looks kind of like the Have you seen these?
I think so.
Yeah. They just dropped this week, or last week, I think. There's one with the yellow check, one with the blue check, and another one with I forget the other color. But like I think these were supposed to be a part of their collaboration with A$AP Bari before he did what he did with what, like I don't even know how to describe this situation right now. Like,
he knows what he did.
He knows exactly what it was a terrible thing. Like there was some video with him and a girl and hit some guys, and like it all went to shit. Like I was just like, whoa. And then Nike, and then I'm sure Nike had the same reaction, and they were like, okay, we're not doing shoes with this guy anymore.
Yeah.
And so that was that. But like apparently, like if I'm correct here, like they released these last week, and like they're super cheap. They're only like $80 or something. I can shoot you that link if you want it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're black. They're really simple. Like there's no extreme decal on it, right? But like the check is kind of like that's kind of out there, like because it's like kind of fluorescent and super bright against the. I mean, the rest of the shoe is literally just black everything. So like I don't know if you'd be interested in that.
I absolutely.
Okay.
The other one I was have you seen like this like NBA pack that they're coming out with?
In Air Force Ones?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the like he has the NBA deal now, and
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, like and like the
Okay.
new KDs are supposed to have the logo because Adam Silver is just kind of like taking down all the barriers, I guess,
Right.
with everything, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. Like they've got these ones.
Okay, I'm looking at them now.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, but it's like they've got like these like Nike on the just kind of like that off-white influence a little bit. Like the really big checks, and they kind of come in like these NBA colors with like the little NBA logo on the back.
Yeah, these are dope, actually.
Yeah, kind of dope.
Yeah, and it has like the strap on the upper around the collar, right? Like this is really nice. It's a really dope shoe, like. And it looks like the upper kind of has like that's like the same material it looks like that a basketball would be made out of. I think. Am I looking at the right shoe?
Trying to go for like that like going for like that Markelle Fultz.
That was such a weird shoe.
That was.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, like this
so,
is
I mean, it's going to be.
So are you into this? Like, I 100% endorse this.
Yeah, I mean, it's, if it looks like it's coming out early October, so the dad gears, kind of going through my head of like, maybe I can wait it out till like, 2 months, maybe that drops like right after Christmas. Get it at a dad approved price, but
right.
Like I said, always scouting, rarely ever doing anything, but that's like it's bumped very high up the list of like my scouting list now. But I might kind of parlay that as my Christmas present with the wife if
she's willing.
Yeah, like that's like the whole like, what do I have to trade back to make this work? And see, this is like that exploding brain meme part of like adulthood. Like, how do you want to give away to get something you want? And that's
what it is. This is a lesson in marriage, everyone.
Exactly.
Like this is how you have to navigate this.
Everyone
I'm taking notes.
Everyone came here for sneaker talk. It was like, oh man, start talking about marriage. I did not come.
We need this. We need this. It's time. Like it's time. You're gonna have
to
learn this one way or another.
For all of you listening, I am your looper in 5 years, here to warn you about how the sneaker game goes. You're married and you have a kid. This is how the game changes.
It sounds rough. It sounds rough. Like
I'm
not excited.
It's not rough. It's just you adjust. It's like when you're Derrick Rose and you go from like expecting to get a max deal after you finish your contract with the Knicks, and then you're Isaiah Thomas is back up in Cleveland. It's, you just
life comes at you fast.
Part of life. Fast.
Yo, so do you want to talk about the NBA deal and like how that could affect things with shoes going forward? Like, because we kind of just got into it with these these Air Force Ones. But.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like, I mean, Nike can really leverage this to really like strengthen their foothold in. I mean, they already have, like, even though sales have dipped, I mean, they just have such a strong foothold with LeBron, with Kobe, with Kyrie.
Right.
In terms of like and KD, of course, not to disrespect him, but they just have that footprint. Nah, that's fine. But it's like have this really deep integration, and whereas like David Stern really had this like kind of like an Apple approach of like you just produce the uniforms, you don't get to put your logo on anything. You're just basically doing a service for us. Yeah, put your logo on it, do all your own, shoes and all sorts of stuff. And, we'll change our uniform rules for you to, make sure you can showcase like 4 different uniforms for each team every year. And so, it kind of puts like guys that go to Adidas and Under Armour and everything else is like kind of like these like quirky outsiders now, even more so, which I mean is kind of on brand for Harden and kind of on brand for Curry too. But like I just feel like it pushes a lot more of the the guys that aren't going to get signature shoes or anything close to it, just even more so to Nike than before.
Yeah, like that's actually a really good point. Like it does kind of change things from a standpoint of like Nike already had like this super tight grip on the sneaker world, and 2, like the sporting apparel world, right? And like you did just get this whole Adidas overtaking Jordan brand thing, right? But like this was like Nike for this to be Nike's like kind of their step back, like I think is a really good thing.
Yeah.
For the company, because you have this NBA deal, right? That you can do a ton of things with, like release these really cool NBA Air Force Ones and like put these that allow your customers to see what upcoming sneaker releases are about to happen, and listen to their favorite players' music and get highlights on their phone and all that. Like this is an opportunity to kind of build their brand in a different way and reshape it in a way that that they haven't had to in the past. And it also like you were just saying, it kind of puts players who, like, for a John Wall, for example, right? Like everyone feels like he's leaning toward signing with Nike at some point. Like he's wearing a bunch of Nike still. Yesterday at media day on Monday, he wore the Paul George one in a Wizards colorway, which was it was a really good looking shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean it puts players like him in a position where like they're always around Nike executives, 1, and 2, like they're always in Nike gear. So they they're closer to the brand than ever, I think. By the way, John Wall and Bradley Beal both say that they love the way the new Nike jerseys feel.
Mm-hmm.
It should be noted that Beal is a Nike guy and Wall is not, but could be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to throw that out there for other Wizards folks listening.
Yeah. Like I can just see like Kelly Oubre doing a cut in those Nike jerseys, like Flanders in the ski suit. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
That's the second Simpsons reference I've had on a podcast today. I did the Limited Upside podcast with Prater today, and we talked about the inanimate carbon rod. So
that sounds about right.
Shout out to the Simpsons. Yes. Shout out to the Simpsons. So you said you wanted to ask about the guards in the NBA and their sneaker deals.
Yeah. So I know you. I think we're kind of hoping I wouldn't bring this up, but it ties into a bigger point. Jimmer Fredette dropped these shoes last week, and
I'm so here for this, by the way. Like,
yeah, and like it's a very like interesting thing, with 361. It makes sense, I guess, to kind of get like a star in China, but also has like crossover appeal with America. It's kind of like inverse Yi, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
But like surprisingly good looking. Like anyone's guess if they actually perform well or would actually even feel good if you put them on your feet. But they look nice. And like me being like kind of a late adopter to the sneaker field, I might be completely off base with this take, but like I feel like Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul are like arguably your two best guards of like the last decade, right?
Yeah, I would say.
And am I crazy for suggesting neither one's really ever been able to make a dent as like with the sneaker?
In terms of like between like we're only guards, right? Like,
well, it's just never. I don't feel like they've ever had a defining shoe. Like they've never really had like.
Oh, Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade specifically?
Yes.
No, that's very accurate. That's very accurate. I mean, people clown Chris Paul for his shoe last year. Like, that's how bad.
Yeah, and it's like, but like the whole thing has always been like, well, big men can't sell shoes, and yet the two best guards this decade can't sell shoes either.
Right.
And so, like, that's weird.
Yeah, no, it is a really weird phenomenon, I guess. Like, I think the thing about it, like I think you can sell a shoe as long as one, you have the ball in your hands a lot, and two, you are you kind of have a personality to go along with that. Now, like I think with Dwayne Wade, what happened was he spent a lot of time with Converse.
Yeah.
And Converse they were really struggling as a brand, and especially in that that early 2000s period. Like they eventually went bankrupt, and Nike had to purchase them. Right. Exactly. They pivoted to video, right? Yeah. And like they really became bottom feeders, right? And Dwayne Wade at that point, he was with the brand, was with them when they eventually went under Nike's umbrella, and like never really caught on as a even when he made the switch to Jordan brand, like he never had a sneaker that caught on. I think for Chris Paul, where you have a guard who's really good, really talented, and does have a bit of a personality, but also played in New Orleans for the bulk of his early career, and also signed with Jordan Brand to start his career, which is not like the only person who has ever been able to kind of eclipse that Michael Jordan shadow as part of Jordan Brand is Russell Westbrook.
Right.
And that's really it. So like I think for those two specifically, like you have a bunch of really, really specific circumstances that that have really hurt them in terms of shoe sales. So yeah, and I mean, like, I don't necessarily think that big men can't. I wouldn't say big men can't sell shoes, because like you did have like Shaq with the Shaq Gnosis that he had for Reebok, and then he eventually made his own shoe that actually sold really well for a while. And then you have Patrick Ewing, who did kind of the same thing, and still has one of the most popular shoes on an independent brand to this day. So like I think you can sell shoes as a big man, but you have to, like, I think if like Joel Embiid had a shoe, then like it would really be great if he could play 60 games or something like that for the season and do really well. But like I just think that it all depends on like circumstance, right? Because like you have Damian Lillard in Portland, who is on his fourth shoe now, but like sales haven't always been great for him, and he's a guard with the ball in his hands all the time. In Portland, which is like the in Oregon, which is the sneaker capital of the world,
right?
So like I mean, it's really all about circumstance.
Yeah, and
I mean, look at Kyrie Irving, right? Like he got his first shoe when LeBron came to Cleveland in 2014, right? Or was he on the 2 then? No, yeah, that was his first one, or his second, one of those two, right? Like he had got him actually before LeBron came. He got the Kyrie one before LeBron came, and then like that shoe eventually blew up because like he was a really fun guard to watch play basketball, but like the team sucked, and he never really talked to the media, never really opened up, and didn't have a great personality at the time. But because like he had crazy handles and had a really good jump shot, like it worked. And then like on the other hand, you had John Wall, who really good guard on a playoff team, who played defense and passed the ball, and the shoe didn't do numbers. So like it's kind of weird. Like I don't think, just like signing a restricted free agent in the NBA, taking a gamble on one of those guys, like it really is just all about circumstance.
Yeah. It's just like like you said with Wall, you really have to start off on the right foot, or you're always catching up. And I mean, even with these competing brands, when they try to sign guys away, they've got to sign them to ridiculous deals, and then that's how you end up with Derrick Rose still getting his signature shoe even today because they're stuck in that contract. They can't get out.
Yeah, oh my god, that sucks. But
yeah, well, I mean, just like imagine like you're in charge of marketing that shoe. Like what did I do to get here? But I mean, not that I've gone anywhere in life, but
no, I mean, it's crazy. Like that's a difficult job to do, and that's kind of like the risk that you have with signing players to these deals. Like that's why I feel like every signature shoe athlete shouldn't have like a like if it were up to me, like every signature shoe athlete wouldn't have a huge deal. Like I think there's too much room for one, for really cool player exclusives out there, and two, like there's just not, the industry isn't booming enough where you have players who should have like huge, enormous deals, like Derrick Rose, for example. Like Adidas was kind of desperate to keep him because he was coming off of that MVP season. But at the same time, like a deal that is more than 7 years is kind of a really dangerous deal. Like the 10-year deal that Jordan Brand just signed Russell Westbrook to, like it looks amazing right now, but like that might take them into Westbrook's retirement. And like, is Russell Westbrook still going to be you know, great enough as a guard who functions primarily off of athleticism to still sell a shoe, 2027.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, I feel like, you've got all these brands that are like signing up musicians and artists and all this stuff because their skills don't deteriorate the way a athlete's does.
Right.
But and that's kind of, I guess, the good thing about Westbrook is that he's technically both. Like he might be like so established as a fashion icon at that point that like his shoe still does numbers even if he's like not good.
Yeah, so like they could easily, for example, like have the in 2027 or whatever, like they could have the Russell Westbrook 10 for basketball and like keep going with his, because he has like two different models, one for on the court and one for off. So like they could easily do like they could continue that off the court in a different way for another 10 years or so, I guess, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shoot. I mean, they kept doing Air Jordan when he first retired. Like,
yeah.
Think about like how crazy that was. Like, they're like, I guess we got to keep making shoes, guys. What are we gonna do?
That's what happens when you sign a guy to a lifetime deal, which is a crazy thing. Like,
yeah. But yeah. So I guess the core question at all of this is, 15 years from now, are we going to say that Jimmer had a better signature shoe than anything we got from Wade or CP3?
I mean, we very well might. That's a very interesting question. Like, because I mean, neither of them have had really much success. Like, even with the Way of Wade deal that Dwayne Wade has right now with Li Ning, like it's a great lucrative deal where he has like equity in the company and everything. But the shoe still doesn't really sell.
Yeah.
Stateside anyway. Like it's still a like it's actually popping over in China.
Oh, I'm sure.
And overseas. Like it's a really good shoe, but like could we see Jimmer Fredette, especially if he kills it in the CBA, could we see his shoe do better in China than Dwayne Wade's? Yeah, I think so. Like it's just literally catching on to a wave at the right time. And like if Jimmer Fredette ends up being like the next Stephon Marbury over there, like that will happen, I think.
Well, and I feel like you're going to have like this people, like this wave of people who buy it ironically, like the Chef Currys.
Yeah.
And an ironic purchase or a purchase because you think it's dope, like it still counts the same.
Right. Yeah, and I would definitely be one of those people.
Yeah.
Like I was honestly thinking of buying Dwight Howard's latest shoe just because it's like 3D printed.
Right.
Just it's like a novelty thing.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like what half of the battle is, I think, for a lot of people. Is like buying stuff as novelty.
Yeah. And like I feel like with Dwight's shoe, they like they just like say words to Dwight, like do you want your shoe to have like a plasma screen next season? He's like, yeah, that sounds great.
Dwight Howard is like, I could see Dwight Howard having like spinners on his shoe, like like Latrell Sprewell did. Like,
yeah, like he's gonna be the first guy to have like LEDs built into his
remember
like
when
change colors during the game and stuff.
When Shaq had the cell phone shoe, like that was so incredibly ridiculous. Like what? Yeah. What are you doing? Like, and people were actually like trying to get their hands on them. Like, how do I get these? Like, I don't want to call somebody for the shoe. Yeah. But yeah, that was a thing. That was a really bad time.
Yeah, there were a lot of interesting things in the early 2000s with that. We got through it somehow, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when Mike Miller is a high draft pick. Like everything just kind of goes wrong from there. So shout out to Adam Morrison.
Yeah. Yeah, we went through a year where J.J. Redick and Adam Morrison were like the two best players in college basketball.
Yeah, that
happened.
That was really bad. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Did you have any other questions that you wanted to get off your chest? Because my rundown is like.
Yeah. I think I have taken this sneaker podcast so many places off sneakers, and I am so sorry for that.
This is totally on brand for, for like I'm here for this.
Yeah,
I'm here for this.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. Unless you have any other John Wall sneaker predictions, other than just probably he ends up with Nike repping someone else's name.
I don't have too many predictions. Like people have been asking me like when is Wall getting another signature shoe? Like I honestly don't know if he does though. Like I can't really see that being the case right now with his sneaker free agency being at the same time as Giannis is, and like Adidas isn't going to roll out the red carpet for him because he left already. So like I doubt that that's going to be a thing for John Wall.
Right.
Nike, they don't really like to, like, if they sign Giannis and give him a signature shoe, he would be the 22nd athlete in the brand's history to get one. And like I don't think they want that person to be John Wall, to be number 22, because they want to keep it kind of exclusive. So like I can't really see that happening. Like the only way that he gets a signature shoe, I think, is if he goes to Under Armour. Like I think it's a given. But he'll definitely get one if he signs with a Chinese brand or something, which is like on the table, I think. But like would people buy that shoe? Probably not. Maybe like Wizards fans would, but like I'm not really. I can't really see that shoe doing too well nationally. No. So I don't know. But if I hear anything, I would definitely let you all know. Jake, you'll probably know first, actually, Jake.
Right. I got the like insider plug.
If only I was an insider, like.
Right. Like there's the newsletter, and then there's like the Platinum Club newsletter. I get the Platinum Club, so that's cool.
The Platinum Club. It's like Sam's Club, but a newsletter though.
Right.
Like you have a card and everything. It comes with it.
Exactly.
Woo. Sam's Club. That's where we're at now. So I think
they do not have good shoes.
They don't have good shoes. Well, they have like good jackets though. I almost bought a jacket from Sam's Club this week. But it was like $40, so I didn't really want to.
Right.
Didn't really want to.
You're already thinking like a dad. You're
all right. I'm halfway there.
Exactly.
What am I doing? I need to live these years out and spend my money recklessly.
Yes.
Instead of being frugal and responsible. I need to recapture my my teenage angst.
Yes.
Figure out what's going on with that. I think this is a good place to wrap.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot.
This is a good spot. Thank you a ton for being on here, Jake. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate your questions and your patience with me and trying to help you find a good shoe. Feel free when you do find that shoe, send a pic and we can talk on here again about how you like that shoe. Whether or not you like that shoe. We honestly should have went in on how terrible the Roches were, but
that's a one-off that we can do for Christmas.
Sounds good. I'm here for it. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the I Have a Problem podcast. Please, once again, subscribe to the newsletter, the Problem Pod newsletter. I've tweeted the link out religiously, so please click on that link, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the newsletter. If you have any suggestions or anything that you want to see from it, definitely let me know. Also, subscribe to the Problem Podcast. It's on iTunes. You can find it on iTunes. I'll tweet out the link when the episode is there on iTunes, because it takes a minute for it to get there after the episode has been recorded and uploaded. So, but I'll let you guys know when that's there, because I know some of you are team Apple. I'm not really sure how you guys pulled that one off, but you know, do what you do, live how you live. Shout out to you guys for still being here, and once again, thank you for all the support. Peace.